Hey guys, Martin here bringing you a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. And so earlier today we got this interesting announcement in the news for a quote-unquote quality of life upgrade, which is certainly interesting because it's something that will affect a very small, I say very small, you guys will have to let me know if it counts for you, but a small percentage of the player base will actually receive quite a negative outcome from this, whereas I think for a lot of newer players, a lot of more casual players, there isn't really any downside to this whatsoever. And so that is the abolition of the reverse function. So it says here, thank you for your support for Dokkan. We plan to discontinue the reverse feature with a mid-October version update. Characters currently in Reverse Dokkan Awakening will automatically be Reverse Dokkan Awakened at the time of the update. After the update, you can increase their super attack level and unlock potential paths without reversing. Please note you will no longer be able to reverse an awakened character and set the pre-awakened character as your mysterious data. It means your profile picture. Additionally, with the discontinuation of reverse, we will be adjusting events and trading spaces where you can obtain the awakening medal mysterious hourglass. So basically any events or parts of the shop where you can get hourglasses will be changed, and your existing hourglasses will automatically be converted into gold Hercule statues. So essentially for just a bit of Zenny. Regarding special attack level, if you choose characters on the same training path as your training partner, their special attack level will be guaranteed to increase regardless of their rarity. So we'll explain that in a little bit more detail here in a minute, but essentially they are taking away reversing your characters, which, to be honest, outside of a very few minor things, which we will talk about, this is how this is affecting like the small portion of the player base. Really, the only reason you ever reversed your characters was to feed in dupes, and then was to potentially feed in like farmable super attacks, which obviously for a lot of people you would just do before you awaken the character in the first place, so you don't have to waste an hourglass medal. But some people obviously would do that. And for the hidden potential, they added in the sort of like, they did add in the automatic feature. So like if you would go to open a path for a character, it would automatically reverse them, and then you could put the dupe in, and then you'd have to manually unreverse the character back, like say if it was an LR, which I have forgotten to do before, and then taken like only recently took the SSR Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks into an event. So they're getting rid of all of that completely. So now when you go into the hidden potential, let's say for my Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, I can just feed in the freshly pulled copy to open his final path and get him to Rainbow without him being reversed. So he'll still be an LR. I can just activate those final nodes and he'll be 100%, and I don't have to worry about him being reversed and unreversed and all that kind of thing. Now, when it comes to the super attack thing, the explanation of that is they included a couple of images here, right? So this shows the the version Z update Goku, and they show that basically here, any of these three versions of him, so when they said back in this previous one, if you choose characters on the same training path as your training partner, their special attack will be guaranteed to increase regardless of rarity. So you can see down here, you get this Goku as an SSR, awaken him to UR, then he awakens up to this TUR, and then he awakened into the LR. Basically, if you have your unit already at LR, as it currently stands, even a farmable character with the same name, it's not a 100% chance to awaken them, and so that's why you would normally have to reverse your units. But now, if you feed any one of these three versions of the same Goku who will eventually be the Path to Power, why do I keep saying Path to Power? The version Z Goku, it will be a 100% chance to raise his super attack. So this is kind of useful for free-to-play characters. So like Prime Battles are a really good example, right? When you get your one copy of a Prime Battle LR awakened all the way up to their legendary rare status with the 777 medals, all you have to do then is farm 10 of their SSRs from the first stage, and then feeding those 10 SSRs into your newly awakened LR will put that up to 20 out of 20, which that is very, very good. That's very handy. Like this, for Prime Battle LRs specifically, this literally cuts out like half the grinding time that you need in order to get that unit up to full SA. And then again, when they EZA and they get an extra 5 levels, you just need 5 of the farmable SSR and they'll go straight up to SA 25. So that's really, really good. And then the other thing that they showed here as well, for farmable super attacks, which is really good. These characters here being fed into the LR God Goku, you can see that once the unit becomes a UR, even though that unit's final awakening is actually a Super Saiyan Goku, because part of his training like path is being a UR God Goku, you can feed him into another God Goku for a 100% super attack raise. Because obviously normally for this guy, I mean, to be fair, this God Goku doesn't actually even have a farmable super because the base form isn't a God Goku. So this is actually quite interesting because this means that some characters are actually now going to have farmable super attacks who potentially didn't before, which is quite interesting. So all in all, when you consider these couple of little bonuses, especially for prime battles, and then obviously just the, you know, lack of extra steps that it takes to reverse characters and then unreverse them and stuff like that, all of that is a good thing on the face of it. And like I say, especially for new players, I know a lot of people who were new to the game, I was getting questions during the anniversary and the GDC of like, you know, where do I get more hourglass medals and stuff like that. That's something you're now not going to have to worry about at all. However, the thing that has now going to affect some people is all the people out there that have a bunch of reversed characters for reasons of their own choosing, of course. It's nothing like the game makes you do, but for things like link leveling. Now, I actually didn't realize, I'd never really paid a huge amount of attention. Like, we can switch over to my version of the game here so I can show you guys what I mean. But so here's my window here. So as you can see, I only have 8 units currently who are reversed. I don't know why these guys, they're probably just reversed from the last time I summoned a dupe for them. Same with the STR 18, same with you. I'm fairly sure this guy, oh, I'm keeping him, oh, he's reversed. I think he's just an SA5. No, he's not an SA5 copy, he's got dupes in him. So apparently I did awaken him into the Topo and Pride Troopers at some point. But basically, I only have these guys here, for the most part, from getting copies fed into them. The only things for me is I rainbowed a copy of the SSR Toa and a copy of the SSR version of Vegeta and Trunks. And I'm not sure why I did this at the time, I think I just got confused, but I awakened them first for some reason. And then obviously realized I didn't need to have a second copy of them awakened, so I just reversed them and then link leveled them. So basically what will happen with the update is these units will all be automatically unreversed, which means I'm going to have 2 Rainbow Toa, because obviously I link level all the heroes units because this is the home of the heroes agenda. I'll have 2 Toas at level 10 links, although actually she'll have Shattering the Limit at level 1 technically. So for me, it doesn't really make a huge impact. Like the link levels leveled up to 10 are still going to count towards your power level. But the one thing that I actually hadn't noticed, and this is the thing that I saw Truth made a short, like just to post on Twitter, like video about his initial thoughts on it. When you look at the things here for how you get your power level, now it doesn't give you a large amount of your power level. We know that most of it comes from links at level 10. But the number of characters you have Dokkan awakened counts towards your power level. So what some people have done, people like Truth and other whales and people like, especially if you summon a lot and you're pulling a lot of dupes for characters, a lot of people will have done the same thing that some of us do, right? Where we link level TURs of LRs and stuff like that. Like if I go to my all max level characters, and then I guess we'll probably have to scroll down to find somebody that I've link leveled who is an unawakened version of like a character. But obviously if you pull like a bunch of extra copies and you want to farm some extra link levels in order to get some extra power level, then obviously you can do things like keeping the, I know where 1 is, I can just bring up for an example. You can farm, so this guy here, right, this is the TUR of the LR Turles army. So I pulled so many copies of them, I decided to just keep a couple of copies, awaken him into his TUR form, and then fully link level him. So I now have 6 extra level 10 links on my account in order to get extra power level. What a lot of people have done to get the extra points from Dokkan awakening characters, which as I say, I kind of had forgotten was even a thing, is in this example here with the Turles, they will have awakened him into the LR to get those extra points for having another Dokkan Awakened character, and then reversed him to the TUR to just keep him as the TUR forever. So they've got another different Turles in their box with full link level 10. And so for those people, this guy will then be forcibly awakened into an LR again, like reversed, when the update hits. And if you're somebody that pulled so many copies, you've also got like a rainbowed version of his SSR, and you did the same thing for that, where you got him up to LR and then just double reversed him, you're essentially, after the update ends, just going to end up with 3 LR Turleses, although obviously this guy would be missing Legendary Power and Fierce Battle, and obviously this guy will be missing Legendary Power. He would end up being a level 1, because, well, actually, I guess if you hadn't trained him and you just reversed him, he'd be level 1, but a level 1 LR Turles army with level 1 Legendary Power. So fortunately, again, for people like me, like if I'm going to link level a TUR of an LR, like that's something that for me, I haven't done, right? I haven't link leveled, I haven't awakened these characters and then reversed them in order to then get that extra bit of power level. I mean, the thing is, I don't care too much about grinding power level, but the funny thing is, if I actually had thought about it and the fact that it gives you extra, I may have done that just to get a few extra points. Although it's one of those things where for me, I have a high enough power level where I get all the bonuses anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So like I say, this is an issue that is only really going to have a negative effect for a small amount of people. Because yeah, like I say, for a lot of us, like if you pulled extra copies and you want to keep like a version of the SSR to link level, or if it's an LR and you want to keep a version of the TUR to link level, a lot of people then don't bother doing that extra step of awakening them and then just reversing them. So if you're in that situation, obviously you're going to be completely fine. The only thing it's going to do is automatically unreverse the characters that are here, which, like I say, fortunately for me, is not very many. So I'm one of those lucky people. This doesn't really affect me very much. I imagine for most of the player base, and especially if you are a newer player, this isn't going to have much effect on you. I know the people who it is going to affect, like the people that actually have awakened all of their spare copies and then reversed them for link leveling in order to get that extra power level, are very unhappy about this on social media. But at the end of the day, like, removing the reversal step on its own, just removing the reversal step and getting that out of the way so you don't have to worry about that when feeding in dupes and leveling up super attack level and all that kind of stuff, that is a W for the game. It makes it a lot easier, a lot less hoops to jump through, again, especially for newer players. But I feel like they could have implemented that without doing this, like, forcibly, because the thing is, to unreverse your character, you don't need to have another hourglass medal. So in theory, they could have got rid of this, but kept this. But then I suppose, why would they want to have an extra option in the menu that's only used for reversing a thing that you can't actually even do anymore? So I guess it kind of makes sense that they're just getting rid of the whole thing. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Is this something that affects you at all? Do you think it's a good update in terms of just the general quality of life for upgrading units? I think, like, again, when it comes to feeding in dupes, farming super attack levels, this is a good change for the game, especially with the examples that we mentioned, where things like prime battles and some of these LRs that will now have farmable supers that technically didn't before. That is definitely a big improvement, but unfortunately there is a negative side effect for some of the player base. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.